the City Chapters Podcast. I'm your host, Bobby J. And on today's chapter, we have Tyler Poole, the co-founder of Poole's Public House and a founder of Live from Somewhere. He's also the audio engineer for them as well. What's up, Tyler?
What's going on?
How you doing today, brother?
Shit, I'm chilling, man. How you doing?
Good, man.
We can cuss on here, right?
Yeah, you can. It's chilly November starting off. Got some snow already. I hit the mountain this last Friday, so nice. That's unexpected. Yeah. Nice. So this early in the season, but how are you dealing with the winter, man? Do you have hard times with winters?
No, I'm cold-blooded, so winter doesn't bother me very much.
Yeah, true Northwest boy.
Shorts year-round, 24/7, 365.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man.
From Montana, so.
What part of Montana are you from?
Missoula.
Missoula?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. See, I didn't know that.
Yep. Been here most of my life, though.
Yeah, so you're born in Missoula.
Yep.
And then when did you move over here?
Moved here when I was like 7.
Yeah, see, I moved up here when I was 6 from Denver, so
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So, yeah, you already gave us a little bit of your backstory. Born in Missoula, moved over here to Spokane at 6. Where'd you... Like, what neighborhood did you grow up in? Where'd you go to school?
Man, I'm South Hill boy.
South Hill boy?
Grew up on the South Hill.
Okay.
Moved here with my folks. They're from Spokane originally. They went to Missoula, University of Montana for college. Had me when they were 21 over there.
Yeah.
And lived there for the first 6-7 years and then moved here.
Nice.
And been on the South Hill.
So you go to LC or Ferris?
Went to Ferris.
Went to Ferris?
Yeah.
And then what'd you do after high school?
So I went back to Montana, went to University of Montana, played football there.
Oh, you did?
Yep. Did a year and a half of football there.
What position?
I played tight end.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
It was fun. I don't know. I was a smaller guy, so I got my ass kicked a little bit. Those big boys.
Yeah.
Got beat up, decided I hated school, and moved back to Spokane.
Gotcha.
And just kind of worked random odd jobs, for a couple of years. And then I moved to Daytona Beach, Florida when I was 21.
Okay.
And
what took you out there?
My uncle actually lived down there.
Yeah.
And he was a bachelor, had an open spot, and I needed a change.
It's a dope uncle, man.
Yeah, it was fun.
Is he still a bachelor? What's he doing now?
Yeah,
Trying to come party. No.
He moved back to Spokane for a couple of years, but then just moved back down there again.
Oh, yeah?
A couple of years ago.
I've been to Daytona once. For a few days I was there while I was in Florida and traveled through that area. It was cool, though.
Yeah, it's a good town.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Definitely. But Daytona Beach is awesome.
Yeah, it was wild. I had some good times. And then I almost died in the ocean.
Yep.
And then booked a ticket back to Spokane a couple days later.
Yeah. Standard Florida experience.
Yeah, exactly. So, I've been in Spokane. After moving back to there, started bartending, working some restaurants and stuff. And then just didn't like where I was going. So I decided to go back to school. Went to the Art Institute of Seattle for audio engineering. That's where I learned a lot of that stuff. Did that for a while. Got a job at a studio over there. Was doing real well. And then my ex-wife got pregnant with my first daughter, and so I moved back to Spokane.
You guys were still married at the time, though?
When
you had the daughter?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And I've been back in Spokane for 8 years now.
You have 2 children, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Boy and a girl?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. What studio were you working at in Seattle?
I was actually at a place called Creative Live.
Oh, I know Creative Live with Chase. What's his name?
Chase.
Chase.
God, what was his last name?
Man, he's a super famous photographer.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying to blank.
They have an awesome podcast and show.
Yeah, at the time they were the world's largest.
Jarvis.
Yeah, Chase Jarvis. Yeah.
Chase Jarvis.
So I don't know if they are still, but they were the largest online photography school in the world.
Yeah.
And so my job was basically to do audio for all that. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have something where they have like some kind of program where you can get lessons, right? Like it's all about like you can learn audio programming. So were you teaching lessons too?
No, I worked for the company. I was the one that recorded all their shows.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, so.
That's
it was cool.
quite
Met
an
some
experience.
super famous people.
For sure.
Yeah, it was dope. It was an awesome job.
Yeah, if you don't know about Chase Jarvis, definitely check out his podcast. I think it's just Chase Jarvis Live. Pretty sure is what it's called. But you can just look his name up. He has just amazing people on his podcast from all sorts of different walks and professions out of Seattle, killing it. That's really cool, man.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's awesome, dude, that you got to have that experience because those guys do it at the highest level.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that probably, man, that brings a lot of experience into what you do at Live from Somewhere.
Yeah.
And it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Too.
And so I started working for them and while I was still in school.
Yeah.
And, I was doing really good, just a 24, 25-year-old kid and making almost six figures, fucking just hanging out in the studio with all these super awesome famous people and dropped out of school again because I was doing what I wanted to do, doing what I went to school for. There's no use in still paying for school.
Real life experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah.
And so that ended mainly because you had a child and you had to move back to Spokane for family support and things, or your girl wanted to be back here? Or?
Yeah, well, she was living here at the time, actually.
Oh,
and I was still over there.
Oh, okay. So you guys were doing a distant relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
She didn't want to leave Spokane, obviously.
No, and I didn't want her to either. I didn't really want to raise a kid in Seattle.
No. Well, and I mean, just like in general, like while you were going to school, she just was like, she needed to stay here and work, or?
We started dating kind of while I was living there.
Gotcha.
And I was coming home, for holidays and stuff. And, one thing led to another. And
right. And
she got pregnant.
And then a baby's here.
Yeah.
Man, so what's well, since we're on this Chase Jarvis and you working for his company, what was like one highlight moment that you can remember from that? Was it like one particular interview person you met?
Well, the whole time, the first probably year and a half I was there, it was just strictly photography. We were doing lessons on. Then they decided to branch out and we opened an audio division where we were bringing in, top producers and top musicians doing their classes. And, what's his name? E.L. Levi, I believe that's what his name is. He came in and he was the founder of a metal band called Doth. I can't remember.
Yeah,
but
something.
Super famous, metal guy, and I was a big metalhead.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this is fucking awesome. I'm getting paid to do this.
Wow.
And so
that's really cool.
Then the next week we did a tutorial on how to mic drums. I'm a drummer, and so I got to do all the setup on all that stuff. We rented this killer like $10,000 DW drum set, and got to play on that, and that was fun. It was a blast.
Man, that's really cool. At 24, just getting plugged in. Yeah, I actually haven't listened to Chase Jarvis in a while, but now that you said that, I'm going to double back and start listening to some of his stuff again.
Yeah.
Because I just like the way he thinks and the way he, interviews people too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I guess a G.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you still have connections with them? Because they don't.
No. I mean, I still know a couple people, but most of the people that were there when I was there are all moved on too.
Right. Yeah.
They all met somebody, leached onto them, and moved on to bigger, better things. So
he was actually somebody that taught me about on one of his podcasts, like how to just rent equipment instead of purchasing it. If you're traveling, he rents his equipment when he travels, and there's like this one particular company he talked about, but I don't know if that's something that you learned, and is that something you guys kind of enact in some of the stuff?
A little bit. I mean, I've owned all my gear.
Yeah.
John owns most of his stuff. Jason does as well.
Yeah, because
we rent lights and stuff here and there. But
yeah, I was just curious because I'm like, when I've been on your guys' set, I'm like, this stuff looks like it adds up.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
So if there's any potential investors out there,
yeah,
Daddy needs a new mixing board. So,
yeah.
I mean, we're all invested in ourselves, buy all our own stuff, and
so you come back, What were you doing after that? After you get back to Spokane from Seattle?
So at that point, my folks had opened up Poole's, our first Poole's location up north.
So that one is your parents as well?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like a different part of your family, like an aunt, uncle, or like how it all worked out.
My parents started all of them.
Oh, okay.
So they started the Northside one, almost 10 years ago now.
Yeah, it's been up there for a minute.
Yep. So I started working there. My brother was running it at the time. And then he moved on, and then I moved up into just being general manager and running the show. Did that for 2 years. And then originally we always wanted to be on the South Hill because we all grew up on the South Hill. We all lived up on the South Hill.
Yeah.
So we were commuting 45 minutes every day both ways.
Seriously, yeah.
You know? But we finally, paid back all of our original loans on the first location and decided it was time to open a South Hill one.
Nice.
On the right spot.
So what year was that you opened the South Hill one?
That was
like
2014.
It was in 14?
Yeah, because we're almost 8 years. February will be 8 years.
Holy smokes.
2013.
Has it really been that long it's been there?
Yeah.
Because what was it
It was Brazilian steakhouse before. And then before that, it was a bar called Somewhere.
Time is a trip.
Or something. Yeah. My daughter was just born, when we opened that one.
Whoa. So, wow, that blows my mind, honestly. I didn't know. I've known, because I've lived on the South Hill since you guys got there. But I just didn't realize. It must have been like right when I moved up there, because I've been on the South Hill for about 10 years. So there was like maybe a 2-year gap or so where you guys weren't there. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's gone fast, too.
So you've always been like at the South Hill one since it opened?
Ever since I left the Northside one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you're the co-owner of that one.
Yep.
So yeah, what's it like, man, running a restaurant business? Like, I mean, what are some of the difficulties that you feel you face the most in that business?
The government.
Yeah. It's like every business.
Yeah. I mean, there's always challenges with anything you do, but restaurant industry's always tough. A lot of turnover. We've been pretty fortunate to have a lot of employees that have been with us for a long time. I'd say we're a fairly successful business, so a lot of our employees make a lot of money, and until they go back to school or actually get a career job for what they went to school for.
Right.
They stick around for quite a while. Kitchen people are a different breed.
Yeah.
So you couldn't talk to one restaurant owner in the world that has problems with the kitchen, that doesn't have problems with the kitchen.
Yeah. It seems like that's always.
But I've got a great chef right now that's killing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, constantly facing rising costs of everything. The profit margins are so slim in the restaurant world. Mm-hmm. Minimum wage is going up again, beginning of next year. It's going to affect a lot of businesses. Mm-hmm. We're locally owned and operated. We can't afford, paying these people crazy prices.
Yeah.
Just, bussers and dish people and servers, all make minimum wage. And then cooks, you got to add a couple, $3, $4, $5 on top. Mm-hmm. We're going up to $15.50, I believe, at the beginning of the year. Just triple almost what it was when I first started in the restaurant industry.
Yeah. So how do you counter that as far as marking your prices up? How difficult is that? I mean, that's really the only way to go, right? You have to mark your pricing up.
Yeah, obviously there's price increases. There's people on salary working harder. Obviously they get raises too, but working more efficiently, strategically scheduling things and constantly battling between distributors on who can get me the best cost on things.
So price shopping a lot, yeah.
Yeah, between me and my chef, we're constantly going through all of our food lists and costs and competing with the other people. And so, yeah. It's tough, man. But at the end of the day, it's worth it. I love what I do. I love the people. We have the greatest regulars in the world, They honestly keep us afloat. So.
How did you guys deal getting through like COVID? Was that incredible? Like, how was that guy for you?
Joke.
Yeah.
I mean, we built a tent like a lot of people, which fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Because it was the middle of winter when we had to do it.
Right.
We had to buy 20 fucking space heaters and fire pits and try to keep people a little bit warm. We did a lot of takeout. You know, we did Grubhub, Uber, all that shit. Try to keep afloat. PPP loans helped out. Definitely. Without that, for sure, we'd be closed.
Yeah.
But like I said, we have the best customers in the world, and they all came in like they do still. You know, just we're taking takeout instead.
Yeah. So you have a pretty loyal customer base.
Yeah, definitely.
Some regulars that come through.
Oh, yeah.
My brother goes there a lot after the
brother
gym.
comes there a lot.
Yeah.
He does. I love your brother, man.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, he is, man.
I remember when I first put 2 and 2 together, it was your brother. I was like, you know Bobby by chance? It's like, yeah, he's my brother. I was like, fuck, I knew it, dude. You guys look so much alike.
That's cool, man. I'm glad you think so, because there's people that don't think we look anything alike.
Really?
Yeah. They'll be like, you have both the same parents, like stuff like that. We get it all the time. And then there's other people that are like, oh, no, you guys look exactly alike, you know, or like definitely brothers, you know. So, yeah, but it's funny. A lot of times people are like, I don't see it. I'm like, that's so crazy. Like,
it's for sure. It's uncanny.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we look a lot alike.
Are you older or younger?
I'm actually older.
Okay.
But he is usually being recognized as the older one now. We're about
you look younger.
Yeah, 2.5 years older than he is.
Okay.
I'm kind of the pretty boy. He's more the, you know, woodsman, rough type. You know,
it's like me and my brother.
He's had a big old beard too. I don't know how long it is now, but I haven't seen him in a month, which seems forever right now. But yeah,
since you guys were at Poole's last together, maybe.
Yeah, that was pretty much. I think he was headed out of town pretty soon after that.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Medical Lake.
Okay.
Yeah, 12 years, senior there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all right, you know, but definitely would have preferred a bigger high school for sure.
Yeah.
It just wasn't a lot going on out there, and well, it is what it is, you know. And that's what I got, and I'm fine with it. Yeah. You know, it just kind of had a limited feeling of experience there.
Oh, totally.
It was just like everybody. I'm sure it's like that at a lot of high schools, no matter where you go, but. You know, the smaller it is, the more that people are in your business and talking, you know. Yeah. And, you know, just the more people, the less maybe you'll be focused on. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I obviously caused and was, you know, a person that I don't think it would have mattered where I went. I was causing trouble. So, you know, people are going to talk. So, it is what it is.
I know about that.
So you played football from the time you were young, like you were doing like leagues and stuff, and then played high school. Yeah. How'd you get to college ball? Did you get a scholarship or did you try out?
No, I walked on actually.
Walked on?
I could have probably got a scholarship, but like you, I was kind of a fuck up in high school. Not a fuck up, but
I hear you.
I fucked up.
It's hard to like. You know, for I think a lot of high schoolers, like unless you really know that's what you want to do and you're just doing it and like, yeah, I'll go to college, you know, whatever. You're not like really focused on it like that. I could have played college for soccer, but I just didn't even try, you know. My coach was like, yo, man, like you're good enough to at least try out at some places. And I just didn't even attempt, you know, because I was just so messed up on other things by the time I got done with high school. So
I mean, football was always ingrained in my blood and my mind, and my dad played college at Montana. He went on, got a couple pro tryouts, signed, but he got hurt and didn't play anymore after that. So football's always been a big part of my life. And
that's awesome, man.
I mean, I loved it, don't get me wrong, but it was you know, almost to a point where I had to love it, you know.
Yeah.
And I I like sports, but I also like to party. I like to smoke weed, and my senior year. So Ferris LC, obviously the big rivalry.
Yeah.
And I was star player the day before this Ferris LC football game. My senior year, I got caught fucking drinking at school, which looking back at it now, I'm such a fucking idiot. I went to school drunk, like I'm a fucking 17-year-old kid. These teachers know, what's up. I thought I was invisible. So I couldn't play that, and that probably cost me a lot of scholarship offers.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I had some similar experiences my senior year. Right before prom and playoffs for soccer, I went to lunch like I had been since a sophomore, smoked weed, came back, and they're like, you got to go to the office because they had been enacting this new tardy thing. But it was all a bunch of BS. Mm-hmm. But the one cool teacher that never cared if I was tardy ever was like, you got to go to the office to check in for this new tardy thing. I was like, what, man? He's like, yeah, sorry, dude, you got to go down there. I'm like, damn, I should have just left. I should have just left, but I just went on down to the office, and then, they, told me to get in the office, and then all the other people I was smoking weed with at lunch showed up at the office, and we're all in a conference room, and we're all like, we're screwed. All the girls got lit off, except my one homegirl. They didn't like her just as much as they didn't like me, but all the other girls got lit off, and my other homie got kicked out too. But then I ended up working it out so I could go to prom, but I had to either pick my soccer playoffs or prom. And at that year, I loved soccer, but I knew we weren't going to make it in the playoffs because once you get to the playoffs from our league, you start playing teams from Yakima and stuff, and they're just on another level than we were in soccer, So we have some very similar experiences there. I got I got snitched out for a winter ball dance. Showed up to the dance, and the cops were waiting for me because kids in my school snitched that we were going to be drinking before, and they're just some haters. I mean, damn, you guys literally went out your way just to stop us from getting, I don't know who it was, never found out and don't care, but I showed up, and like every single police officer in Medical Lake at the time, which was like 7 of them, is like interrogating me, and I got arrested for an MIP. So my senior year, they were just gunning for me. And I was the only one. Like, it was crazy. So, but you know what? As much as I think I was singled out, I made those decisions, and they weren't the right ones, so I'm not going to defend my actions. I was a young kid who thought he was grown and wanted to have fun and be cool and do all of that. And I really was missing out on, what my elders at that time were telling me, like, you are messing up. And I didn't want to believe it, and I didn't want to hear it, but I messed up a lot of opportunities because I wanted to be cool and drink and, get tied up into a lot of bullshit, really, that really damaged my life through high school and throughout. So I still don't like certain people from that high school and how they ran things. I don't think they were running and weren't great mentors to, young adults at that time. It was more like power plays to them where, there could have been ways they could have broke through to me than their tactics that they used. But you live and you learn, and none of us are perfect. Maybe those people have grown since then. I don't know. But I don't know. I think it's funny, like, learning and thinking back on high school and like trying, to like kind of piece together like who you were at that point, because I feel like coming into high school, you're still kind of, depending, like middle school, you kind of start, a lot of people start losing their innocence then, that's when it starts, you know what I mean? And then high school, depending on how it goes for you, it either makes you or breaks you, you know?
Yeah.
I think it breaks a lot of us, probably breaks, I don't know. I can't say the ratio, but it feels like a lot of people don't have a great high school experience, you know? There are the people that do, but my experience wasn't that great, you know? And I think I was angry about my experience for different reasons, and I carried that anger on out of high school because at that point I was like, fuck the system, you know, fuck education, and I was angry at the world, and I just kept going further down that dark path. And you know, as I've gotten into my later 20s, and I've, you know, obviously made some mistakes in my older years too, but they become less frequent. So like where I'm getting to now is like, who was I like before all this shit happened to me, you know? And I started making these bad decisions. And then I look back now and I'm like, what the hell's been wrong with me, you know? And so like trying to figure that out and looking back at high school and your backstory, I think is important. That's why I like to share it on the podcast, because I think it helps people understand like relativity to people, you know, like, oh, I went through something similar like that too. And, you know, maybe you haven't looked at it or dealt with it or felt you were alone in that. But I think that's why the backstories are such a strong part of any podcast that you listen to. So I mean, you had some trouble in high school, kind of messed up some things with your football career, but you still ended up walking on at Montana,
Yep.
which still shows a lot of dedication and hard work, because regardless, you have to be about it to even get on any football team in college.
No, I had to work my ass off for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I was in the weight room twice a day. You know,
You must have been a big fella back then.
I was.
How big were you?
I was about the same weight.
Same weight.
The areas were shifted, you know.
Because how tall are you?
I'm 6'4".
You're 6'4". Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, I was cut. It was nice.
Beast
Looking back at pictures, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, none of that's relevant with my body anymore, you know. But I'm trying to change it up a little bit.
Do you think you learned anything at your career playing college football that you carry on with you now?
Yeah. I mean, the whole theory of if you want something, fucking work hard for it and go get it.
Yeah.
That's something I've always,
Just sweat equity.
Yeah. I mean, my parents were awesome parents all growing up, you know, but once I was out of that house, it's just been go get what you want and do it, you know. Obviously, I was fortunate enough that they had a restaurant that I'm a part of nowadays, but, you know, besides that, I've worked my ass off to get everywhere I am. And even now, you know, I just started bartending at their place and I worked up and now I'm fucking co-owner of the South Hill. And it's cost me a lot, you know, a lot of friends, a marriage. You know?
Yeah, just as far as how much time it takes.
Yeah, you know, working 50, 60 hours a week for the first 8 years, 7 years, you know. Now I'm finally at a point where I don't have to work as many hours. So I've got worked and learned how to put the right people in the right places.
To delegate,
So now I'm getting spend more time with the kids and girlfriend and do the things I like to do and still be successful, you know.
Yeah, I think, you know, that is a really hard thing to figure out in business. Like, how do you balance maintaining what the business needs, relationships, your own personal health, all these different things that you entail in this life now that we live, you know, where we're pulled so many directions. It takes, and I don't even know the world of managing employees, you know, I just know the world of managing, you know, work for clients and my own work that I set for myself for my projects for city chapters and for my clients for Third Kind Design. But it's a lot, man. And I don't have kids either. You know what I mean? Like I don't have those things, dude. And I have had one hell of a time trying to balance it all, trying to figure out how I could be happy. I don't even, let alone know how to keep a woman happy. You know what I mean? Like I've never honestly been too great at that either, man.
That's something no one will ever figure out.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say that. I know that much.
I'll say
no, I'm joking.
Yeah, man. Life's a funny thing. And I'm such a fucking perfectionist and micromanager that it's hard for me to let go and let people do the things that I'm used to doing myself, because I want things done a specific way. And if they're not, then you're wrong. Unless you can prove to me the way you're doing it's okay. And then I'll let you have a pass. But, we've been doing something for so long and been very successful at it. It's tough to go into the new ways of doing things sometimes. Like my brother is 7 years younger than me. And he's the co-owner of the Northside pools now. Me and him both bought in with our folks. We're from our folks. But he uses all this new technology how to do shit. And I'm like, I'll just keep doing it the way I want to do it. I've been doing it for so long. I can fucking do it faster than you can, even with your new shit. So, but.
Yeah, I mean, if it's efficient and it's easy to use, and I don't, why? Yeah. Why?
It's not broke,
don't fix it. Yeah, exactly. Why fix it if it's not broken? So, yeah, man. How do you think about balancing your personal life? Like, what are maybe some things you do, or if nothing, but how do you balance between personal life and work? Like, how do you disconnect?
Something my dad always has said to me since I started working for him was everybody has a bag of shit. When you get to work, you leave your bag of shit on the curb.
I like that.
When you get off work, your bag of shit's going to be waiting for you.
Yeah.
So whether your bag of shit's work shit or personal shit, either way, you got to leave them at the door, So I really try to, when I get out of work, leave work at work. It'll be there for me tomorrow.
Yeah.
Obviously, as the owner and manager, I'm on call all the time, so I'm constantly getting people, hitting me up about things. But I try really hard to separate the two, especially so I've got joint custody with my kids, so I have them every Thursday to every Sunday. So once Thursday afternoon hits, it's kind of switch to dad mode. While they're at school, I'm working, but when I walk out that door, it's put the different hat on.
I think that's really important. That's some good advice from your dad. My dad could have learned from that. Yeah. Because, like no one wants to listen to people just talk about their work and how shitty it is or what's not going right with it. Like you don't want to hear that side of work. Now, if you're talking and people are interested in what you're doing and you have positive things to say, I know we're humans, and the aspect of us needing to communicate and talk about what we deal with is a certain thing that's probably ingrained into us to affect, but at what purpose does it serve? And most of the time, talking about, your shit is not going to really be beneficial. It's something that I've had to learn. Like, how do you talk about the hard things and make it beneficial where you're not just complaining or playing victim or any of that, because there is a lot to learn if you can not play victim, but talk about the hard things and how you overcome them. That's why I like this podcast, it's like, I want to learn from people and how they deal with business, how they deal with life, and just try to have a deeper perspective on how I can move through this.
I'll give you some advice. It's super easy.
All right.
Just bottle everything in.
Yeah, bottle it in.
Until it fucking explodes.
Until it explodes. Yeah, I like explosions.
Don't do that. But, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times you have to do that, and especially in my industry, where I'm constantly surrounded by people.
Yeah.
Whether it's employees or customers, there's always a full restaurant, so I gotta A, separate everything, B, hold shit in, I'm there for the customer to vent to, It shouldn't be other way around. And now,
yeah,
obviously there's times that are different, I've had a couple employees that have been around in my life for a long time, but I've have a lot of customers and regulars that have been around for a long time too, and they get to know you on a personal level. You know? So they're asking about the kids. They're asking about life from somewhere. They're asking about, you know, I used to be a photographer. They ask if I still do that, you know, all that type of shit. But the average Joe that comes in, you know, I'm there for them to vent to, you know. Hey, Steve, what's wrong with today?
Yeah.
Oh, my fucking boss is a dick, man. Yeah. Okay, here's a Jack and Coke. Let's make it better. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I think that aspect is important.
Like, who does the therapist go to? Kind of thing, you know. So
it's an interesting concept. Yeah,
that's why I play drums. Go home, just fucking beat the shit out of them.
Yeah. Are you in a band at all right now?
I am now. Like so John Ward, me and him started a band.
Okay.
Don't have a name yet.
Nice.
But yeah,
sweet. So well, you guys had another thing going too, right? Another band for a short minute.
Me and him.
Yeah, wasn't it you, him, and
yeah, well,
somebody else?
So John's got his solo stuff, and he was working for me actually,
right?
And when was it? It was after he did his Live from Somewhere episode. So when we did that, we were friends, acquaintances, but we weren't what we are now.
Yeah.
And after he did his R&B set, he pulled out his acoustic guitar and started playing guitar and these fucking beautiful songs. And I literally started crying, fucking recording his set. I was like, dude, you're fucking great. You should, obviously your R&B stuff is cool, but like, this is what you need to be doing. Dude. This is how you're going to make it. And so like, I just kept pushing. I was like, dude, let's write these songs. I just wanted to record them, you know, and help produce them. And I was like, he's like, we should start a band. I was like, fuck it, yeah, dude. Absolutely. Let's start a band. Awesome, we have practice tonight. But
oh, really?
Yeah. So,
sweet.
I mean, we're building it slow.
Yeah.
You know, we're both very busy all the time, but
for sure.
We've got 3.5 songs written now, and we've got some other members in place. I'm not sure if I can say who they are yet, but they're top tier Spokane musicians.
Awesome.
That play every day. So,
because when you guys did the Live from Somewhere concert at the theater, what theater is it? Magic
Fox.
Lantern?
Oh, yeah.
Magic Lantern.
We did one
theater.
there, yeah.
I thought John did a set where he played with you.
Yeah, that was when we first started playing together.
Okay.
He wanted to do his R&B set, then do an acoustic set, and then he wanted me and my buddy Greg to sit in with him and play a couple songs. So those 2 songs where I'm on drums and Greg's playing bass, we literally put that together like 2 days before. We just sat in my fucking house and played for a couple hours, and then you're like, all right, let's go play a show. And I don't know.
That set was awesome.
It was fun. It was awesome.
You guys killed it.
Yeah.
You like your section, that band section that you guys did. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
I remember.
So we can't wait to get out and play an actual show. You know, when we're
I can't wait.
Polished and ready to go. That was the second time we've ever played together.
Yeah, that was insane because it was awesome.
Yeah,
and I'll definitely.
I love John.
Be there to support.
Shit.
Yep. His episode comes out tomorrow.
Oh, dope. Nice. Now I got something to listen to.
Chapter
at work.
Yeah. So, Tyler is a founder of Live from Somewhere. That's how I really got to know him. Got connected really through Live from Somewhere and City Chapters doing a collaboration jacket, which we sold for about a year almost, I think. It was somewhere around the pandemic era.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for me to remember. But we sold quite a few of those jackets.
Yeah.
And that's how I got tied in with Live from Somewhere. We had the jackets, which I loved. That was like during actually a great year for me in City Chapters. I was moving quite a bit of jackets that year. After that year, it's kind of slowed down because I pulled back on a lot of product, and I've been doing redevelopment of like what I want to do with City Chapters, the type of product. That was a great year for me. It was a great year for you because you guys started that year. And I was just super impressed with the quality of work you guys did right away. There's a team of you. So you're the audio engineer. We got John. Actually, why don't you list them off and what they do?
Yeah, so I'm the head audio engineer. My boy Nick, he's the assistant audio engineer, social media, all hands on deck kind of guy, helping out with everything. John, Ryan, Jason, camera operator extraordinaires. John and Jason and Ryan, really, they kind of are all collectively the vision of everything, you know.
Yeah.
I'm in the audio booth in the back, fucking segregated from everyone else. But they do all the visionary things, which they do a fucking brilliant job at.
Yeah.
You know, and then, so that's the crew. Michael, spacing his last name. Me being a full-time dad and restaurant owner, I don't have a lot of free time, so he's came on and is mixing and mastering all the audio, taking that off my plate. The whole first season, I did all that myself, and it was just tedious and too many hours of work that I didn't have time for.
Yeah.
So now I'm just there on set, day of shoots. I record everything live and then give it to Michael, and he masters it.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
I do, once I'm all set up too, I don't have a whole lot of work to do, so I do behind the scenes photography as well.
Yeah.
So any photos that you see on any of our pages, most likely they're from me.
Wasn't there another guy helping you out with that stuff too?
There was, we actually had a full-time photographer, Adam.
Yeah.
But he moved on. He's doing his own thing now.
He's like in Africa or something right now.
Yeah, he was. He was in Africa.
Like last thing I seen,
He goes there often.
I was like, oh, he's traveling, and then I was like, oh, he's in Africa.
Yeah. He's not in Portland. He's in Africa.
Yeah.
So, but that's
awesome.
The crew. We've got a couple other guys that help out once in a while.
Yeah.
Rory from Snacks at Midnight comes and helps.
Yeah, I met him.
Who else? There's one other guy. Nick from Ghost Heart has been helping us out quite a bit lately as well.
Snacks at Midnight, man. Those boys are performers.
Yeah, they're hungry.
They're great.
I love it. This new breed of kids, I call them kids, coming up in the music scene here in Spokane. They're hungry. They're playing
that concert
any stage they can.
That Magic Lantern concert they did, man.
They're wild.
They killed it.
Yeah.
I felt so honored to be there, honestly. Like just to see those kids at that time, because I'm like, you know, who knows where they'll go? I don't know, but it seems like they could go far. You know, they're really talented.
Yeah, they got the talent. They got the drive. You know, they got the work ethic. So, yeah.
So how did you guys even? Obviously, the pandemic kind of probably triggered the idea of live from somewhere.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
It was all because you couldn't go to concerts, so you guys kind of brainstormed this idea, like, why don't we just record and we can put it up for people to view?
Yeah. Yeah, it was 100% born out of the pandemic. So John and Ryan owned Sip and Paint Studios at the time.
Right.
And John was a video director, music video director. And John was trying to work with Ryan on figuring out how they can live broadcast Sip and Paint events so people can be at home, do their paint classes, you know, and still get some income coming in for Ryan. Then I don't know exactly what happened, but they had an idea of, why don't we do a live concert? So they, before I was even on board, booked Zach and Mike, Exact Change and Isla Matisse. Fucking shout out those guys. They're fucking dope. I love them. But they put a post out, just a very vague post saying, hey, we're going to have a thing. And I texted John. I was like, hey, what's going on with this thing? I need to be a part of it. Like, I wanted to host the show. And so day of, we show up. They have no idea what the fuck they're doing as far as the audio engineering side of it goes. And I'm like, I live 5 minutes away. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get some gear. I'll be back. So I go grab my computer, some mics and cables, and Zach brought his own interface, which we used. And I was like, what do you guys can do for output? And they're like, oh, we're just going to hook up a Bluetooth speaker to our phone. I was like, no, you're not. It's going to sound like shit. This isn't going to work. Just here, I'll be right back. Yeah. And so it was just kind of, that's how it started. And then it's been full bore ever since. You know, we started doing bigger artists, better venues, started getting new equipment, you know, and just kind of blew up from there. And it's been crazy. Yeah. It's been a ride. Been a lot of interesting challenges, tons of fun, you know.
Yeah, it started in 2020, right? Literally during the pandemic, you guys started it. So you guys have been around almost 3 years.
Yeah, I believe it was late fall or late summer.
Yeah, late summer.
Or 20, yeah.
Yeah, so... Okay, so going on 2 years.
We've had a bunch of crazy ideas that we thought would work and they didn't work, and we thought about doing a podcast as well to go with it. We did one podcast and we shot it on my back porch.
Yeah.
No, we did it inside. Who did we do it with? Brother Nature, I believe, was with our first podcast we did, and then we were on Zach's podcast. We did that on my back porch. When he was just doing them on his porches and stuff for his podcast. And podcast didn't work. We're all so busy all the time and barely have time
hard day.
Just for the Live from Somewhere stuff, let alone to add on all these other avenues with it. We had a couple crossover things where we were trying to get the current artist working with the next artist on collaborating on a song.
I remember that. Yeah.
We did 2 of those, and they were fucking dope. The one with Uh-Oh and the OLs, and Brother Nature did one. That was fucking sick. That song they did together was super dope. It still gets stuck in my head sometimes.
Yeah.
But that was the only real one we did with that.
I like that idea, but I could see that being obviously hard. Yeah.
Especially when you start getting with bands with 5, 6, 7 members and... Our crew's, 5, 6, 7 members, and it was a logistical nightmare, as they say. So we just stuck to, just doing what we're good at, the whole bread and butter.
Yeah,
live
but
shows.
The whole thing's been experimental, so I guess, just trying out those different things is, that's what makes it cool, challenging, fun. And then you find out, all right, that one doesn't work or that's not going to fit, but... I love that you guys are still going, Yeah. And I don't say that in a way like, oh, I can't believe you guys are still going. You know what I mean? I love that you guys have stuck with it post-pandemic. You guys, because as soon as I seen it, I was like, oh, this is way bigger than just something for the pandemic. Like, this is the quality that you guys put out. Like, this is up there with, like Colors or, Tiny Desk or you know what I mean, like but like the production is way bigger than what Tiny Desk does. You know what I mean? Like this is like a full-on production to highlight a band playing.
If we were
live.
in LA and someone wanted to do this, it would cost them $100,000, fucking easy. And we're losing money doing these.
I know. Yeah,
but that's how much we love music and how much we care and believe in our community here in Spokane and the scene, and we just want to do our part. Getting these people, getting eyes on them from anywhere else we can, besides just Spokane, which is the internet. So.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard, but I think a lot of times you have to give stuff away for free until people really see the value. You know what I mean? I've definitely had to give a lot of stuff away for free, and I love it sometimes and I don't like it sometimes, Yeah. Part of it's just paying your due diligence, paying your time. But then there's a point too where it's like, when does it take hold? When do you get to that place where you are getting paid the $100,000, which you guys definitely could be getting paid $100,000 by a band that's got their money right and production right, or a label finds out about you guys and they're like, yo, we want our band to have this. We'll help blow this up. Where do you align yourself with to make those kinds of things happen, which I know it'll happen. You know what I mean? You guys, it's just a matter of time. You guys keep the production going and putting it out. Like everybody that I know has watched it or seen it, it is like, damn, these guys are from Spokane, that kind of thing. Yeah. And these...
the quality of our production is second to none anywhere.
It is, man. It is crazy good, man. Like, if you're listening, please go watch a Live from Somewhere video. They have how many bands out right now?
Fuck, I don't even
It's
know.
a lot. It's quite a bit. I mean, at least probably 20.
Yeah, probably more than that.
Yeah.
Well, because we did the whole first season. Well, I don't know if we can call them seasons or kind of what we're doing, but
yeah.
At this point, we're kind of into season. I think we're labeling them as seasons now.
Yeah.
And then we did the winter of 2020. I think it was 2020. It might have been 21, but we did a acoustic series as well, where we did the same concept. Take musicians to obscure places, but we wanted to showcase some of the acoustic talent in Spokane. The people that aren't hip hop or rock or whatever, because they need some love too, and we appreciate all
musicians.
genres.
Yeah.
So we've probably done over 25, 30. Yeah, and we've got 3 now that we've shot that haven't even come out yet. So we're still going strong.
That's good, man.
It's just getting crazier and crazier.
Is this the furthest you guys been ahead on episodes, or?
Yeah, maybe.
3's a pretty good amount.
The acoustic series, I think we filmed like 4 or 5 or 6 of them before any of them came out, but those are easy to do.
Less technical setup, all that.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys.
Except for Heat Speak. God, there's like 8 of them, 9 of them. With obscure instruments too. So it's like, I have no experience on recording a fucking, whatever it may be, a tambourine or
a violin.
yeah, exactly. A violin. They had a cello, a violin.
Yeah. I was
an
at
upright piano.
I was at the Heat Speak one.
Yeah. At the old Hidden Mother.
Yeah, Hidden Mother. Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah. I went to that one. I was at TS's at the barbershop.
Yep.
I don't know, maybe another one, but it's cool just being able to watch you guys work, man. And,
that's fun.
Be on scene and stuff.
It's nice to get away from the 9 to 5.
Yeah,
the day job we all have, and do something we're passionate about and do it well.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. So. I love seeing that quality of work. Like what we were talking about off camera. Like you guys took this idea. And, there's a lot of people that could have tried to do this. But you guys aren't trying to do it. You're doing it. You're doing it at the highest level.
Yeah.
And that's what Spokane needs from creatives. That's what they need in the music scene. There's definitely some cats out here that are really been stepping it up with music videos and stuff.
Totally.
And there's definitely some people that are on that, starting to be on that professional level. But you guys are on that professional level from my standpoint, from my vision, from what I see, because I feel like I got a good eye for what is sharp, what looks good, what's not, And every time I've watched your guys' production, I'm like, man, this feels big time.
Yeah.
It feels like,
man, just wait.
Company out of LA or something, but you guys are from Spokane. Yeah. And you guys are an awesome crew of fellas. Each one of you I've liked. Nick, he's looked out for me when, I've been tripping a few times, you know what I mean? So
Nick's the man, he's been one of my best friends for ever.
Yeah. Which Nick owns a clothing line. ESC.
Evergreen State of Conscious Northwest.
Yeah.
And they're killing it, man. They're fucking...
They're always setting up booths at
everything.
Yeah, farmer market. So
anything and everything there.
You've been to one of those. You've probably seen them. Yeah, they're always set up.
Yep.
Go ahead.
This new season, we've already announced it. But we've got Exact Change and Matisse. They're hosting episodes
I've
now.
seen that.
So
there's
another.
It'll be fun.
Play off of it. We're trying, and so far they've killed it, man. Everything's
I saw their little intro where they're at that concrete place or wherever that was.
Yeah, that episode's gonna be so dope. I can't wait for that one to come out.
Yeah,
just visually, it's beautiful.
Awesome,
it's gonna be sick.
What are there any artists that you got coming out that you're able to say yet, or have you released that information yet?
That's a good question. I don't know. Check our Instagram real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Come on, man. Give it to me. You heard it here first.
Well, we posted a picture with that's going to be our first episode. So yeah, we got a Live in Barcelona coming. Nice. The first episode. They're by far the biggest band we've worked with.
Yeah, where are they from? Are they Spokane?
Spokane, Coeur d'Alene.
Okay.
But they're signed to a major label.
Are they?
And tour the nation. You know,
nice.
Yeah, they've got millions of views on their videos. John actually has done a bunch of their videos.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're.
Oh, I think John told me about these.
Yeah, they just put out a new video.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, a week ago, maybe.
Yeah, he must have mentioned them to me, you know, back in the day, and he was saying how he was trying to get them to come on because he'd done music videos for him.
Yeah, we've been trying to get them for a while.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, everyone's busy. And
I mean, they're a big act too.
One of their members, I think, lives in like Seattle or Portland or something. So they're not touring. You know, they all live in different cities, but when they get together, it's special.
Man.
Yeah.
So what kind of music?
Hard rock.
Hard rock.
Yeah. Melodic metal. I don't know exactly what they label themselves.
Yeah. Live from Barcelona.
Alive
from Barcelona.
Alive in Barcelona. In Barcelona. AIB, yeah.
Alive in Barcelona.
Yep.
Okay. There it is.
Check them out. Yeah, they're dope.
That
episode's going to be killer. I'm excited for it.
Sweet.
Should be coming out fairly soon, I believe.
Are you guys were doing like watch parties and stuff, or like release parties and stuff? Are you guys not going to do that anymore?
I don't know. We had a good thing going with Magic Lantern.
Right.
And then something happened. I don't know exactly what happened.
Panning out anymore.
They didn't like what we were doing. They don't like making money, I guess. We were selling out every event there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Can't imagine they are. Nothing against Magic Lantern, but people would rather come see our shows than an obscure fucking French movie or some shit. I don't know.
That's unfortunate because that was pretty cool there.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Especially when we did the live shows there too. We did 2 live shows, and those were sick.
What about Garland?
We've talked to them too. It was a while ago. I don't know all the details on what it was, but they didn't really want to be a part of it. So,
well, they're gonna regret that.
Yeah, I'm joking. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have anything to do with any of those types of things. You know. I got my own shit to worry about.
Guess I gotta have John on here, huh?
Yeah. No, John and Ryan, they handle all the business side of things.
Yeah.
For the most part. I mean, we're still a team, obviously. We have meetings all the time and discuss things and who we want to get, you know. We're getting our season 3 episode list is gonna be pretty amazing. We got some really special, amazing artists coming on.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Forefront of breaking into the national scene.
Really?
You know, so
some local artists
that are about to be big time.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Hopefully they'll take us with them.
Yeah. Well, and also like I had said before I even knew you did this live in Barcelona, is, you know, they're connected to a major label. So you put this work out, that major label is like, oh, this is awesome. We got another artist we'd want you to do this with. And you actually start getting
that's what we're hoping.
Paid.
I think.
Money.
Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure every artist that's on season 3 is on a label.
Oh, really?
One form or another.
That's so cool.
None of them are local labels either. So.
Yeah. I love that, man. I love hearing that you guys are getting to there. And I've been watching from afar because we haven't been in the works in an active collaboration again yet, but that's why I said it. But I've been watching, you know, and I just love it, man. I loved it from the moment I seen it, and I can't express that enough. The reason I loved it is because you guys do it so well, like so well. Mm-hmm. You know,
thank you.
It goes to a point that I talked about on the first podcast and a little bit of what we were talking about off camera. I won't dive as deep as we were talking about it, but if you're going to do something and you want people to support it, and even if you don't get the support right away, you believe in it and you're doing the best work that you can and you really are trying to put it at that top level, it's gonna catch. It's just you can't blame others for not supporting you. You gotta stick with it. You gotta keep putting it out, and eventually the big things are gonna come.
Yep.
You know, and that's what you guys are doing. I mean, right off season 2, you're saying episode 1,
season 3.
Well, so this is season 3 coming out.
Season 3's coming out.
Okay. Yeah, so you have Alive in Barcelona, which I'll listen to their album or whatever they got out and see what's going on, and definitely, you know, check out your guys' release.
Yeah. Yeah, their new video was featured in some huge online metal publications and print too, I'm sure, if they still do the print magazines. But
yeah.
I don't know if they do or not. But yeah, some big things coming. And cool, I mean, we don't half-ass anything.
No.
You know, we full-ass everything.
Yeah.
And we want the talent to reciprocate what we put into it.
Yeah.
You know? So, and we want to work with the best because we're the best. You know, we don't want to put out a product we're not fully behind. And
what's been some of the feedback that you've gotten from bands and people that you've done this for?
It's all positive.
Yeah, I mean, like
everyone has. We all have a blast on set. You know, we all have a blast before, after, during.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's all love. It's all fun. It's all a group of people getting together, doing what they love to do. You know, we're privileged enough to catch it on video and record it and make it even better, you know?
Yeah, I would imagine that there's been artists that were probably blown away by the finished product that they got. They're like, well, I did not know it was going to be like this.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
Well, and especially
unless they had seen a previous episode, but in the beginning maybe, right?
Yeah.
Like,
no, fuck, look at Zach and Mike's episode. Like, the first one we ever did. Now, granted, it was hip hop, so it's a little easier to record.
Yeah.
Since it's just two people holding microphones, you don't have to worry about drums or guitars or any of that stuff. But you listen to it, and it sounds like an actual studio recorded album.
I know.
You know the visuals are gorgeous. You know, these drone shots capturing all downtown Spokane and sunsets, and I love that episode.
Yeah.
And you know, it was our first one, and I don't want to say they've gotten better, but production quality that we're putting out, our equipment has gotten better, but you know, everything's still consistently good, I want to say. You know, and we'll release an episode and people are like, this fucking sounds better than our album, you know?
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's wild, man, because it's true. Like, it sounds so clean when you listen to it.
And we've recorded in some fucked up spots too that becomes very challenging. Ghost Heart, we did in the basement of what's now Dry Fly. It used to be the Spokesman Review building.
Yeah.
Like, we have to take it in elevators as big as this room, with all our equipment, walk down a fucking half-mile fucking concrete room, go into this sketchiest area full of ghosts, I'm sure, and try to record a heavy metal band surrounded by pure concrete.
Yeah.
Like 30-foot thick concrete walls. And but we get it done. And yeah. Michael had to work a lot of post-magic on that one for the audio recording, but there's been some crazy situations. We did Uh-Oh and the OLs. We shot them in the middle of a field during, I don't know if you remember, but it was like the worst smoke year ever. And it was like over 200 smoke meters. Like, we're wearing like 3 masks and still fucking getting smoke and shit in our lungs. And
I remember
everyone
that
powered through
coming out. I remember that episode.
You couldn't even see the sun.
No.
We shot it in the middle of the day, and it looked like it was like nighttime almost.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was very apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. It was cool. It was eerie.
Yeah, it was.
But
yeah, you guys have done, and that's also what's really cool about it is it's not in just the same studio each time. It's a new location. And they're like cool locations. Like, you're like, where are they?
Yeah.
Like, where is this?
Yeah.
This is in Spokane somewhere?
Yeah.
There's been a few where I'm like, all right, where did they find this spot? Yo? Like, this is awesome.
That's a huge thing, too. People are like, where is this? I've lived in Spokane my whole life. I have no fucking idea this place even existed.
Yeah.
And even myself, you know, I'll show up on set and I'm like, what the fuck? I had no idea. I lived 10 blocks from here. I had no idea this was here.
Right.
you know?
Yeah, so that part's really cool as well.
And that Brother Nature episode we did on under the pavilion.
Yeah.
We guerrilla shot that whole thing. We went in there with a generator, set up all of our equipment real quick, and just shot a set. And had run, a couple 100 feet of extension cords to get the generators away. And right when we wrapped up set and packed up all of our gear and started walking away, 3 security guards walk right past us to go shut us down, and we're walking the opposite way, just in and out, baby.
Oh,
and that episode's fucking dope, man.
Perfect.
The drone shots flying around the lit up pavilion, and
they wouldn't. Yeah, that would have been whack. They should let people.
If we could have got on camera of them trying to shut us down, would have been cool.
Yeah,
some good credit.
Yeah,
reels, but yeah, we haven't had too many issues with
like on anything. Site location stuff.
Yeah. I mean, besides Mother Nature, that's been the only real issue we've ever had. But even then, we've been pretty fortunate with everything.
Yeah. Well, I've been blessed to, take a part in the beginning of the journey in just a minor way, just helping you guys with some apparel, some merchandise. It was an honor to collaborate with you guys and make those jackets. We'll get you a jacket made. We'll figure out the one for the new guy too.
Yeah.
And is there anything else you want to share about Life from Somewhere or Pools?
I mean, I just want to say thank you to everyone, you know, with Pools, all of our customers, my staff. I've got amazing staff. Our customers are amazing. Our fans of Live From Somewhere, everyone's so supportive. And artists keep hitting us up, because you never know, you might have never played a show in Spokane, but you send us a demo and we're like, this guy's got it. Let's fucking expose him. Let's get him
and that's
on
huge.
The show.
I mean, because that's a full production, long, music video for you, whatever you want to use it for, to show people your showcase. Like it's like a sponsor me tape on steroids.
Honestly, like you'd have to pay a lot of money to get this kind of production done. And we're doing it for
or
free.
assign me. This is more like not a sponsor me. Like I was thinking skateboarding, snowboarding, but this is like assign me.
Yeah.
If you got on with these guys, if you're an artist listening, like he said, he just gave that open invitation. Hit him up.
Now that being said, we've got our product right, so make sure you have your product right if you're going to try to get on here.
Exactly, that's what 100%, and that's what we're all about here. That's what they're all about there. Don't waste their time. They're not going to waste yours. And you ain't going to get an email back if your stuff's not right anyway. So no, I can't speak for them. I'm just
sucks,
teasing.
But it's true. When you got. You can't go from Alive in Barcelona to Joe Schmo.
Yeah, you got to have some talent.
Barely plays guitar.
Yeah. Yeah, but still doesn't hurt to get those submissions, right? And the people that make the cut and they get that blessing from you guys, man, that's huge because that, music videos are everything in music to me. Like, if I love your music and you don't have music videos, it irritates me. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I want to know what this song looked like to you visually. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I want to have that experience if I really love a song a lot of times. Yeah. And so if I go to look it up and you don't have any music videos, that's frustrating. But, there's reasons for that. But if you can have an opportunity to do something with Live From Somewhere, just go watch their stuff. If you're an artist, you'll see the quality of work that they do. And even if you're just a music lover, you want to know more about local bands in Spokane, go check them out. I mean, you could just play it in the background. You're going to be entertained, one, just from the music, and then just catch the quality of video work these people do. They each, specialize in this. So they're out here, for I'm sure helping others, mentorship, even potentially for hire. I know John does freelance work, so there's There's ways you guys can support them and maybe support your own businesses if you need the work that they offer done. I have one question. What's your favorite item on the menu at Poole's?
Fuck, I don't know.
Man, I like the linguine, the lemon
chicken linguine.
Yeah, that
That's
one.
good.
Mm-hmm, with the bread. Yeah. Dip that bread in there.
That's one of my favorites.
I love that one.
That's where I got this body from.
Add some shrimp in there sometimes too.
Yeah.
Get the lemon and the chicken and the shrimp. That one's fire.
It's fire.
Yeah.
Our fried chicken sandwich is fire. For sure.
Ooh, you guys had something too. Well, there was the lobster
grilled cheese.
Yeah, the lobster grilled cheese was fire. And then you guys had some kind of dessert that was killer. Was it a cheesecake?
Yeah, we got a cheesecake.
It was something.
Double chocolate cake.
Yeah.
Apple pie.
I feel like it was a special that I had, but I can't.
It could have been. We do fresh eats all the time.
Yeah.
You know, me and my chef will come up with things, or he will, or I will. You know.
Yeah.
Gets boring sometimes cooking the same menu all the time.
Yeah, I gotta switch.
And
it up, right?
kind of bit me in the ass, but I had the idea. So all the cooks, there's 7 of them, each one got a week to come up with their own fresh sheet, and the winner at the end got $100 cash, and then they got to design a fresh sheet for the whole month. So unfortunately, I ended up winning the competition. I gave the cash to the second place, but then I have to fucking come up with a fresh sheet. I was like, I don't got time for this shit.
That's funny.
But yeah, we're doing.
Did that just happen recently?
Yeah, just
So
ended 2
the
weeks
fresh
ago.
sheet is gonna be in
I haven't even put it out yet.
December or
Yeah,
so.
it'll be December, and then come January, we're kind of revamping the whole menu as well, putting on some new stuff that we've been working on, and taking off some not so good sellers. But yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot of fun things coming up next year.
Sweet. Well, yeah, Poole's Public House is up on Regal, up by 55th.
55th and Regal.
55th and Regal. So if you're on the South Hill, you want to watch some of the games, they have tons of TVs, great drinks, great service.
I believe we're the only sports bar on the South Hill that has a season ticket as well. So we've got every football game.
Yep.
Breakfast.
Do you guys do the
Saturday,
fights?
Sunday. We don't do the fights.
Yeah, it's
no,
hard.
it's fucking so expensive. It's such a racket for those. They charge it per seat.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's such,
just one fight's a couple grand.
It's
and I'm not going to charge people at the door to come in.
It's so I don't understand it, but it's what it is. Alrighty.
But
well, we good?
Yeah. Thank you for
covered it all.
Yeah.
My man, Tyler Poole. Thank you for coming on this chapter.
Of course.
I'm your host, Bobby J, and this is City Chapters Podcast.